and actually, this is she was having trouble with her mic earlier. Participating this, she just can't tonight.
Is Greg not coming?
And is Greg going to be here today?
Greg is not going to be here today. They were still involved with some training. He
Okay.
did want me to share that we have a promotion.
Oh, good.
Oh, he made the sergeant.
Yeah,
Okay.
so Sergeant Purvis now
Okay.
is his official and they do now have a patrol vacancy opening.
Okay.
So those were the updates from him, and they were still in training, and asked if it was okay if he could not be here, and I said, be safe, we'll see you next time.
I saw a lot of cars at the fire hall, so yeah, that makes all sense, yeah.
All right, are we going? Are we live? I think we are.
You are live.
We are live. All right, so, what happened to my printout? It, did not work. Our last meeting, we were not here, so we need to approve our May 26th minutes.
Move to approve.
All right, second, I guess, and we are good to go. Let me get out of last night's meeting. And then, oh my. There we go. Patty, I didn't see the AI summary. That's because we didn't have any. Patty, there we go. Okay. Update. Do you have the update from Schrock?
That was it.
That was it, just
Just that Purvis is it.
Yeah,
Purvis is
the others are at the end of the month, or the first meeting, so it covers the whole precinct.
Okay, so now that we have Purvis moving up to sergeant, then we have the opening
For
of the
patrol.
for patrol officer.
Mm-hmm.
That is correct.
Okay, and I'm assuming we'll hear more about that as time moves on. Safe zone for Boys and Girls Club. How is, since we have some people who live down
They
on
can speak to it in
Villard.
detail.
how is the new traffic?
Well, I was just telling Ann last night, if you look out you're out in front of my sidewalk, in front of my house,
Uh-huh.
you can see that red light flashing, or the flashing sign,
Uh-huh.
and then you see people brake lights immediately.
So you see that light and the bright light. Good,
It's-
okay.
It's working.
It's effective.
Great.
Now, somebody, and this is probably asking for the moon, but somebody did say that what seems to happen, this is someone further south on Hauser, North Hauser,
Uh-huh.
that,
Driving north.
that people leaving the grocery store speed up coming down that direction.
Is it only
The north side.
going one direction?
Yeah.
Ah,
I don't know, how hard it is to have it show both directions, or if it's critical.
How do you figure that out?
Yeah.
I mean,
It's a separate sign.
I was gonna say you have to have two
Yeah,
signs, don't you?
yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, we love that it is slowing down the traffic
Okay.
around the playground and, the grassy area,
Okay.
The grassy triangle.
The triangle up right there?
or, well, the grassy area with the seating.
On Villard.
oh,
You're out of
and
town.
he's
Stop it.
he's indulging us.
You country folk. Goodness. All right, do we know, and this is, I actually have been working at the Market 55 all summer, and
That way you couldn't do a job down at the pool? Oh, no, you're an employee.
I'm here. I mean, I would have loved to be at the pool. Today was beautiful. No. The signage for Boys and Girls Club from on either end. So I'm terrible with names. What is the road right in front of Ace? What is that road? Oak?
That's where Oaks.
That's Oaks, isn't it?
Oaks. Mhm.
Do we have any sort of signage or anything in our warehouse that says, like, kids at play or in the vicinity? Like, I kind of feel like it needs a 2-block, especially seeing how crazy Oak gets with everybody bypassing Main Street right there.
We're talking about the one behind Ace that goes down right by the Boys and Girls Club?
The one
There's
in
not
front of
children,
it.
there's,
East of Boys and Girls Club.
So between, like, where Cheesesteak Phil's and the skate park.
Body shop. Yeah, I said, I know they have some other signs that are out there, I don't remember what the exact wording on it is, but the
Okay.
signs that are always out there are out there.
Okay.
But there's nothing that indicates.
I think it's our standard pedestrians is what we
Yeah,
have.
I think that's
and
it.
my understanding is And then my recollection is they looked and did not have any
extras?
children
That is correct.
signs.
When I was down there, we went through all this available
Didn't want
signage,
nothing.
and that was not available.
Okay, that was something that I noticed, and I stopped at City Brew, and I always ask people, I was like, is there any safety concerns that you notice with traffic or anything? And she's like, gosh, it would be great if they did have the flashing crosswalk signs. And I was like, well, that's, again, asking for the moon, I don't know if we can get any flashing ones.
Could you possibly move the one that's on White, on the hillside there, Airport Road? Because there's not really children playing there.
No, there's not anymore. But they might come back.
Is that a city sign or a private sign, I wonder?
No, it looks like a city sign. It's up on one of your street posts.
You know,
And
those
it
signs
says
aren't
kids?
expensive.
Kids, children playing.
Does it look fun?
And it's on the west side, as you go down Airport Hill before it turns into White.
Down Airport Hill, so going north, south.
South.
Is it all the way down,
No, it's like.
on the hill?
Halfway down.
it's on the hill?
So, this time, I don't know of any small children. Angela, she'll speak, well, Angela.
No, and she's all the way at the other end
She's
of White.
No.
She's at 18th.
You're thinking Carolyn.
Yeah, oh, yeah, sorry.
But Angela is one block
She's the
over,
one over.
but her children don't play over there on the hill.
Well, that could change in a month. I mean, somebody can move in there. I'd just soon order a new sign. They're not that expensive.
That's what I'm thinking, if we can, if
Just
it's in our
order a
budget, to
children
order
playing.
some more.
Here's what Mike Maple said: I'll meet you behind Ace to talk about the 15-mile-an-hour sign and attaching children playing.
Okay.
Well, I've just experienced Mike Maple's world for the last week, and
It seems chaos.
so
It seems like chaos.
he's probably not going to meet me anywhere. So
Not soon, yeah.
but we've talked about it, and I was surprised there's not a children playing sign.
Mhm.
So
I noticed it with the influx of people, and, I mean, in all honesty, having the road construction right there on Oak
Yeah.
has slowed down traffic tremendously, but it's also, like Rod was saying, it just pushes that traffic one more street up, and people are just flying up and down, and so it makes me nervous now with how many kids. And the other day, I left the market and went in front of the children's center.
Yep.
And it wasn't even during a pickup time or anything, and I was going 5 miles an hour or something, but I mean, still, little kid, mom had one in tow, one kid darted out, and I was just like, and she gave me the stink eye, like, I was like, honey, I stopped. I'm stopped, so.
well, I'll I just feel like this is maybe going to be an August thing or something, because
Yeah.
if he really needs to meet with me, then I don't know why we can't just
After-
order a children playing sign and then,
Well, and it's just like after reading about what happened in Bozeman, like it just,
I don't know what happened in Bozeman.
a little girl riding her bicycle crossing an intersection
Oh.
was hit and killed
Oh, no, okay.
Yeah.
How recent?
this week, like this past week. And so it's just like, it's not a matter of if, it's just
Yeah,
a matter of when, is what
Yep.
I'm worried about. And, yeah, I was just like, oh my gosh. I mean, there's a whole lot of different elements after reading about it that were contributing into it, but also still the fact that it was a possibility for her to be out there on a bicycle and no one see her.
That's why it was nice if it would be a four-way stop, at 10 and those.
Yeah, and just the amount of people, and it's just, so it was something that I was like, I'm gonna make sure I bring it up.
Madam Chair?
Yeah.
Just make sure, so I've got additional children playing signs ordered
Okay.
east and west side of the block around the children's club, is
Yeah.
that correct?
Yeah,
that'd be great.
that'd be awesome. Yeah, because, like, we all know there's a children's center there, but how many people coming into town have absolutely no idea? And a lot of them don't realize we have a city pool until they're right there.
Well, that sign is very subtle. I would love it if they got a more colorful sign that said Boys and Girls Club, because that is wooden and it's faded and.
Oh, right.
I don't think anyone
If
sees
you do that, that would be theirs. So like the one, if you come into town, you see a detour sign, it looks like a regular detour sign, but it says, Yellowstone Wildlife.
Yeah, the wildlife
That-
sanctuary.
They bought that sign. That's their sign.
Ah, okay, well, you can.
So, and the Boys and Girls Club could certainly do that too.
Yeah, okay.
I think, as I stated before,
Mhm.
the flashing sign gets attention and it gets results. if you put yourself in a new environment and you're driving in a town you're visiting, you miss a lot of signs.
Yeah,
And sometimes you miss stop signs because
Mhm.
there's so many things you're trying to take in.
yeah,
That's where
the flashing ones are.
the flashing lights draw your attention to them.
Right, and that's what the gal was saying, if we had them.
Unfortunately, you can't prevent tragedy.
Mm-mm.
You know, it's just, it happens. It's what you can do to lessen the risk, but you'll never prevent it
No.
unless you make everybody walk.
Well, we've discussed these flashing lights with Maples, and, you know, it's just hard to get hold of him, but if we could, and I guess,
He's a very busy
are
man.
they solar? I think they were solar, if I
They need
remember.
to be solar. I'm
Yeah,
sure.
and if they were solar, and that'd be easy enough, they put that sign up, the speeding sign up, that's more complicated than solar flashing lights, I would think.
I don't know, I feel like I'm trying to be as proactive with this one as possible, and
Mhm.
yeah, after reading, I was like, oh my gosh, this is, you know.
Yeah,
it's
I hadn't read
terrible.
that, okay.
So,
Well, it's flashing lights and children playing. Let's
Yep.
do it.
he's got it. Put it down, sweet. Okay, I put this on here because I noticed that MDOT has repaired the curbs, all the curbs, do we know
Yeah,
if all
oh,
the
you
curbs
weren't
are?
at the meeting last week.
I was not, so I didn't.
Not all the curbs, hold on just a moment.
Well, and I noticed
This is
the curbs that had gutters, was it discussed at the previous meeting? That,
That's why they didn't get it.
because it had the gutter, I figured it had something to do with that.
It's a structural reconstruction of under the ground.
Yeah, that's what I figured. I mean, I was impressed with how quickly they graded down the ones and put in the new ones. I mean, that
They
was
look
like,
nice, and I was just jumping around at meetings, and I happened on
yeah.
15 years ago when Ed Williams was talking about defending these decisions, but it was, so we've been living with them for 15 years, but it was a big
been
deal
that
back
long?
then, yeah, so.
Jeez. I didn't think it,
When
Yeah.
they,
when we first put
when
them
they
in.
redid, the state redid
Yeah.
the pavement on Broadway,
Broadway.
Mhm.
they didn't have it in their budget to replace those curb gutters.
Okay.
And that's why they did what they did. And the city and the state had some pretty big to-do over that. Created some heartache for a long time.
Yeah.
All those people now, I think, are retired, so now you're seeing things
Getting
happen.
done.
I've been heard, I don't know if this is true, that two different state individuals, a local one, I don't know, not in Red Lodge, but in this area, and somebody had some office in Dillon or something.
Oh, really? I believe it.
The guy up here was saying, no, we don't do that with the something.
Well, you know, if I can find that meeting again, it should be easy. I was looking for Public Works or some meeting, and that popped up. So if I can find it again, I'll give you the date.
Yeah. Well, I was impressed. I just wanted to see, also, I guess you guys went over it last week to see what the deal was with the gutters, if those were staying raised or if it was a gutter issue. But the other ones, I was impressed with how quickly they did. So, I mean, hats off to them
Mike didn't feel there was anything gonna happen in the near future,
with the guttered ones. Yeah. I see that.
because it's all budgetary. With the raised gutters,
Oh, yeah, so, we don't have the corner still, so what they
Yeah.
did is, they did the ones that don't have drains.
Yep, we noticed that.
Basically, to do the others, it would involve reinstalling new grades.
Oh, okay.
So I don't
And that's what they were
see that
saying.
happening.
They don't see that happening.
Yeah.
Either way, I mean, when there's a will, there's a way. They got them done pretty darn quick. I know I was at work and I came out and they were already like 3 blocks down and I completed each one, so.
has there been any lawsuits filed against those trips and falls?
No, but I do know of one fall that there was an ambulance called. There was an older gentleman who fell last year, tripped on one, and there was an emergency evacuation on it, and I immediately shared that information with MDOT.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I don't know if that helped play a factor in getting those that were there. They told us they were looking at it, and then when they did it, they just showed up. They didn't really give us a heads up notice that it was coming. And we felt the appropriate answer was thank you, so.
Yeah.
There was lots of predictions. I know you all remember the predictions of all the people falling and covered
Oh, yeah.
by snow and tripping and falling, and that was huge. But, so
remember it.
all I can say is thank you.
Yeah, no, that's where I was like, holy smoke.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure, because I've been getting people like, oh my gosh, the state doesn't have, or Rutledge doesn't have money for this, this, and this, but now they're fixing this now after how many years? And I was like, I think this is an MDOT situation, so just.
Yep. So,
Yeah. All right, we're going through this pretty quickly. I didn't think there was gonna be much, especially without Chief here. Summer signage, we just went over that, speed signs, crosswalk, Oaks Avenue. Yeah, right now with the road construction going on right there, I think that hasn't been an issue, other than my daughter saying parking around Babcock and Miles is difficult anyway, since she's working there this summer. She can never find a parking spot.
is she in the store or the cafe?
She's in the store, well, she bounces.
Okay. Well, I have something. It's not, I don't know what it falls, well, it really falls under health concerns, and this is public health.
Mm-hmm.
Greg's not here. I was sort of hoping he'd be here. I have concerns about the trolley. It was brought to my attention last Thursday night, I was out to dinner, about the oil. So on my way home from this dinner, I stopped in front of their office on North Broadway. And I don't have my phone, I took pictures, but the oil is as big as a Subaru, and I'm not exaggerating.
Took a photo of it.
Yeah.
It drips like a Subaru, or?
No,
Seriously?
It's as big as the footprint of a Subaru.
yes,
It's in need of some serious mechanical.
yes, and
What is that address?
I think it's right next to the.
it's next door at Kids Corner. It's, used to be,
Okay, the one right there on Broadway?
yeah,
Anna Marvel's real estate office. I don't know which
but
one.
they've moved out because those
Yeah.
people bought it.
Yeah, because the Zimmers sold it.
Mm-hmm. But,
Yeah,
so it stinks. I looked this up, and if there are some oil problems in a vehicle, I don't know anything about oil in cars, but they could cause a fire.
well, and that was the picture I took, which by the time I got to get my phone out to take a picture, it had subsided tremendously, but they had pulled in right there. So I'm at the market, and it's the corner right there,
Show what you,
with the courthouse.
show what you hope in Steve and Rod.
Well, and
I don't have my
but it
phone.
was smoking. They
Oh.
had everybody offload
Oh,
right there. I mean, it looked like it was getting ready to blow up.
so it looks like a legit concern then.
Yeah, and I was kind of like, interesting.
It drove by me, and I knew there was a serious problem with it mechanically, because
Well, you're a car guy, yeah.
Did you say, excuse
it was
me?
smoking terrible. There's not a lot of life left.
Could you
Right.
flag them down and say something? Oh.
They couldn't see through the smoke.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're well aware of the fact that it's on its last legs, but,
What do you?
you know.
Well, that's why I'm like, I'm sure it has to follow all the guidelines to be street legal and all of the.
Well, that's the thing, there's no inspections in this state, but a public conveyance, I'm assuming there is like inspection on public conveyances. But you guys, when it passes you, it just sort of chokes you up.
Yeah.
And what if it did, catch on fire? I mean, am I being extreme?
Are they parking it there at night? Overnight, I mean?
I haven't seen it there overnight. I've actually seen it parked at several different
Yeah,
spots.
same.
There was a
Yeah.
concern, and particularly because I was going for consistency,
Mhm.
we made the horses have to get a special permit from the state because
Mhm.
they're slowing down traffic.
Yes.
It was determined that the trolley was not gonna be doing that. They will be driving the speed limit when they're not inhibiting traffic, so when they park off the road is different. I've made a note to follow up with the owners and share that there's a concern, and also follow up with Chief Schrock to see what is there that we can do to help encourage them if just telling them that it's an issue or concern is not a factor. What, are there statutes specifically that apply?
Okay.
They park behind their store in the alley, right here.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Of course, at the depot, and, I'm not sure where else I've seen them. but the oil leaks are impressive.
I've seen it across from the grocery store
Yeah,
a
it's
lot,
Depot,
and
then
down by Merv's, I think, a couple times.
Now, the other thing I heard that I can't substantiate, is that it doesn't go into reverse.
And I don't know if that's a requirement or not either.
I don't know,
Well, I
but,
would think that it would be, but I don't know either.
I can't, I don't wanna spend $28 on a ride and get burned and then.
I'm sorry, did you just say $28?
Yes, yes.
But what's interesting, and I think they've extended an invitation, so I think council could probably go on it if you wanted to.
Well, I'm a senior, so I could go for 25.
I've not been on it yet, but I'm curious to go, because one of the things I've noticed is that they are stopping by a lot of the historical sites, so they're adding a good history tour on site. They worked with the Historical Society. But I know Judy said that about a half an hour after it goes by, they get new faces and crowds that show up at Regis,
Yep.
pronounced Regis.
I had breakfast there, and the girl walked in with her cowboy hat, looking all cute, and Judy was glowing about the trolley. But I'm not Chamber of Commerce, I'm City Council, and I think it might be something to look into,
Yeah,
health-wise.
no,
There's two things, there's a public safety issue, and then also a pollution oil drain.
Public nuisance or something.
But, I
think you'd have to, it'd probably be, the police department would be your starting point.
that's why I was hoping.
What are the regulations for public transportation?
yeah.
Mhm.
Because it's a form of public transportation, even though, I don't know, there might be something that they should be inspected because they are providing a service to the general public.
Mhm.
I don't know, I couldn't answer that question.
Right,
That would be the place to start looking at, do they need to pass inspections? Trucks that haul products to stores have to pass inspections annually. Vehicles that haul kids
yes.
To be
have to
possibly.
be
Well,
inspected
trolley-
annually.
Trolley will call a kid and, okay, well, I was just, the reverse thing, I can't figure that one out, but I'll talk to Greg, or I'll text him and say,
I'll go ahead and do that.
Okay.
Since it's a directing staff issue, that's all
okay,
right.
yep,
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
but, it's,
And he has opened an invitation for council members?
I believe so, that was my recollection, is that they said yes, and I will confirm that when I talk to them.
I thought it was $2, I didn't realize.
no.
No, so what's really interesting, just
Well,
to
you can jump off
complicate-
really quick.
so to add a little confusion, the horses are back.
Uh-huh.
The official name for the horses is the Red Lodge Trolley.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a horseless trolley and there's the horses trolley.
Which,
So that was very confusing when they were all getting registered and licensed, and it's like, wait a minute, so the trolley is, so the horses have always been the trolley. That's their name.
Oh, really?
And that's what they've always
Oh,
been.
my
Yeah.
gosh, well, that's,
It's the trolley, not Red Lodge.
And I think it might be Red Lodge Trolley, but it's trolley is in the name. And so when the horseless trolley showed up, staff worked with them to kind of say, you may want to get a different name in there to eliminate confusion. But so far, I've heard lots of different reports from lots of different angles, and aside from the oil, that's a new issue and a concern we'll bring up. But like I said, the general response has been, like you said, from a chamber perspective, sort of a thing, that it's been very positive. And it's kind of a cool thing. It kind of adds to that little old town Red Lodge-y.
I've heard different opinions.
I think, I
From
wonder,
numerous-
I think I've
but-
said enough about this
Yeah.
Okay.
trolley.
So I've got
Yeah.
a note of that, and I will follow up.
Yeah, let's try to get out of here
But,
before-
thank you all for listening to me, and I'm,
No, I'm glad you brought it up, because I literally took photos of it, because I was like, oh my gosh, what's happening to this thing? Because it was like, I mean, it looked like it was,
It may not make it to the end of summer.
that's what I didn't
It
think.
may solve the problem itself.
there you go.
Before we move on with the renewing priority projects, Jody wanted to make sure that we touch base on this. She sent an email, I don't know, did you get it or not? I can forward it to you. But it's basically from Mary Vet, and it is talking about making sure that we, are following up on safe streets and roads for grant opportunities. And so there is a grant opportunity, in case it has not yet been on our radar, many of you are familiar with the Safe Streets and Roads for All grant program, and I believe this was the same grant that they were looking for on Brewery Hill. It's Montana State University Western Transportation Institute has been leading the SS4R in Montana, and I know some of you have worked on them with their own planning. 2 categories for funding are offered for year 26. So it looks like there's $305 million for planning and demonstration. U.S. DOT expects to award 400 to 700 grants in this category. Your city or county region can apply for funds and develop an action plan.
What's the date on that?
This one says it's open until May 26th.
Uh-oh,
Is
that's a month ago.
Right, but she just, like, I'm thinking it's that far in advance that they're like, hey, put this on your radar. And I don't know if that's just this one. Yeah, if you're not on the map, review it. Anyway, let me forward this to you.
Yeah. I haven't checked things today, so it might be there, I don't know.
Yeah, she sent it to me last week when I was doing the agenda, and it seems that whenever I do the agenda, it's not until after I've already submitted it that someone's like, hey, can you add this? So I'm like, oh, I'll talk about it. I'm going to go ahead and forward that. I'm pretty sure the mayor has it. It looks like. Forward on too. But yeah, it just goes on our radar, and I think that would help out with a lot of these safe school zones, safe streets. Maybe help out with more signage, crosswalk, sidewalk, whatnot.
That'd be great.
Yeah. Other than that, do we have any public comments, concerns?
Well, I've got 2 things.
Okay.
I'm not sure that this is the committee, but it could be, let me know and we'll get it in the right direction. One is with the trolley, being one of them. Business owners and their employees are parking on Main Street all day long.
Totally.
And it's always, I've had issue with this for many decades.
Mm-hmm.
When I was president of the Chamber of Commerce, it was an issue.
Okay.
And I look at it, the parking spots on Main Street are like tables in a restaurant.
Right.
You gotta turn them in order to
Make
generate profit for the businesses downtown. If your employees sit at your tables in your restaurant, you don't make any money. And
It's a great analogy, Rod.
the new fly fishing shop likes to park on Main Street
With its fancy truck.
with his
Yeah.
fancy truck, sometimes with the boat attached,
The bug.
Bug Life or something, I don't know. But
Yeah.
He's advertising with
Like
the boat.
you feel it's advertised, and I feel it's hurting commerce. And the trolley, again, they're using it to,
Advertise.
advertise their service,
Take them at least.
but it takes up 1 to 2 spaces. If you really count the spaces on Main Street, and I don't know the exact number anymore, but it's surprisingly small. How many?
Yeah, that's what it
Is he staying there for more than 4 hours? Because I believe the current ordinance is there's a 4
Well,
hour
and
limit.
that's where I would like to see an ordinance that says business owners and their employees are issued a citation for parking in the public right-of-way
Mhm.
on Broadway from, determine which intersection to which intersection, and halfway back to the alleys,
Mhm.
so that it's all about resort tax money. It's all about income for the city, it's all about income for
Right.
the businesses. And so in combination with that, you'd also have to identify parking places, preferred parking places for those people. Obviously behind the businesses have some parking.
Yeah.
Or like behind Ace,
Mhm.
there's a street there that, and there are streets available. Oaks Avenue would be preferable to have long-term parking.
Right. I mean, even with the trolley, if they were to leave that, because I know there's a sign out there, I saw it today. And if they have that sign and says, pickup
Right.
is at a certain location, at
But
your
it's
own.
just-
If you
Your own thing.
can't go in reverse, you can't pick up people.
So I don't
Take it out of the
know,
parking place.
I don't know the right committee to look at that again.
Yeah.
I know we used to have 2-hour parking, that was unenforceable. I don't think a time length is an enforceable issue.
No, we don't have, like, you know.
I think it's, if it's reported, it's responded to. I don't expect the police department to be walking up and down the street figuring out who owns which car.
Yeah, we don't have.
But if it's reported, then they can respond and investigate. This car is parked here every day for 8 hours in the same spot. Is it a resident upstairs? Is it an employee? Is it a business owner?
Yeah, and I know back alleys who's
So,
got to
but
call
you-
the cars.
I've stated why I think it's an issue,
Mhm.
and if it doesn't work, fine.
What committee would it be?
We would take it up with, wouldn't that be police first, or, well, no, we can.
So, is this an ordinance, I know, talk to Jody, but I can see, couple of words, if it's just a resolution per se, that's kind of an admin thing, but I also think they're gonna be busy with budget for the next few months, so maybe it's better
Public Works?
if you guys go ahead and say, hey, we're gonna take this, do you have any objections, or even tonight as you, as we go through council meetings,
Mhm.
just raise it and say, this came up during
Well-
public health and safety.
I'd like to,
Is there an appetite for doing this, and B, is it us, or does some other committee feel like they wanna grab it? If they don't, we're gonna take it and run with it.
I'd like the public to know that we're discussing it, because that might be half the battle,
Yeah.
is that this is not right.
No.
The side streets down from Broadway to Oaks, or, Broadway to whatever, this Platt, it's just not, it's not right.
What's really funny is a lot of the businesses, well, you will not park in front of our business. That's our customer front. So what do? They park in front of the other, so everybody's parking in front of somebody else's business.
Yeah, and they're pissed, and so they say, well, I'll just go,
I would have some worries and concerns about, enforcement.
Yeah.
Simply, like I said, that, the 4-hour thing to me is enforceable, and that's a little bit easier, you know,
To monitor.
because employees might park on the next street because it's better than going out and walking out in the middle of the day and changing where your car is. But how do you know whose car is what? We're gonna start having every business required to report who their employees are?
oh, I know who the cars are.
Well, then I remember it also coming up at a,
It's
One-
repetitive patterns.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I remember it coming up also with a lot of the, our like bartenders and wait staff at night who are not.
They don't wanna walk.
Well, yeah, and they don't feel comfortable parking on a back road, you know, and having to leave at 2 a.m., which I can understand that, but you're not starting a shift at noon, right? I mean, I don't know, there was a lot of safety concerns with that.
And then there's always the idea that had come back a little bit when we were doing the visioning exercise about making these cross streets alternating one-way roads with
Okay,
diagonal parking on them that would double the amount of parking we have. One of my recollections was, for as much as we all anecdotally say, oh, we have a parking problem, it's not, it seems to me, and I'm trying to think what the source was of the comment, it's not as problematic as we'd like to think it is sometimes. And then one of the comments was, and we're coming up on 4th of July. 4th of July, hands down the busiest day. Walk down to the Roosevelt. Before you get to the Roosevelt, you will encounter open available parking on Broadway. So it's like, when people say we have a parking problem, what they mean is, I don't have something right exactly where I want to be 10 feet from where I want to be.
Yeah, is there some kind of, like, I guess it's not, because I'm thinking back when I was a kid, and my grandpa used to do this all the time, where he'd pull up in front of a business to allow us to load and unload the car.
So there was a conversation that was here that came up about having temporary, but there was two concerns, and there was also part of the same conversation about we have a handicap on every block, and it turned out that would be just taking away parking
Yeah,
spots.
exactly.
And then it was like, who gets
Loading
the
and
loading and unloading only? Well, I'm Junction 7, that's what we do, okay. Well, I'm a pizza place, we have people that come in, and it just turned into everybody was gonna want it,
Yeah.
there wasn't any.
It was, yeah, I mean,
Do you think it would make any difference if somebody from this committee or one of the other committees went to the Business Alliance meeting and said, here's what we're considering,
these are in discussion, yeah.
Yeah, I could absolutely raise that, because I try to attend those.
Mhm.
And I can raise that issue, and like I said, I think what we're all saying is the nice answer would be, please self-police this so that council doesn't feel a need to come in and do something about it. We had that conversation with sidewalks, and it went over like a ton of bricks.
Well, and I just feel like.
So we've had the conversations before, so, I can raise it. In fact, I'll go add it to those notes.
Like, the whole stopping on Main Street.
Well, you have to let your little old grandmother out, go into
You can
Bogart.
go on the side street. and-
No,
My
no.
mother's real evil these days.
Yeah, because it not only is it a safety thing, because
Oh, I
then you
agree.
get the kids, and by kids, I mean like the high school kids, okay, my daughter, who
Then go around.
who goes around, and then there'll be oncoming traffic, and they're trying to pull out, and she says it just gets chaotic, and I'm like,
Everywhere I've lived, people stop to let the old people out into the restaurant. I mean,
yeah,
we're not
well,
gonna-
that's why I'm kind of like, yeah, and I, I'm guilty of it too, like, with my mother-in-law and her walker, I will definitely,
Then you add the walker.
right? That's in the trunk.
The driver has to get out.
Yeah. It's.
And then you have a curb.
Oh, yeah.
I think
See, now do you see
ideally-
the issue?
Ideally, if the business owners could become aware
Yeah,
and self-police, that would be great.
yeah.
It would be nice to have, the ability to force compliance if necessary, but it would be,
Yeah,
it's just, it's
Human
it's a
nature.
can of worms.
It is, 100%.
Well, I think it's important for them to know that we know. I mean, it's not like, if you park your car beside your business all day, that's not going unnoticed.
Right.
And so I think if we
Because-
kind of get that we're looking at it and
I think it was the cigar place when it was up here. He used to do that too. He parked his
Yeah.
car right there for,
Or his trailer.
for a long.
Yeah, sure.
It's a form of advertising, but at the same time, it was interfering with commerce of others, so.
yeah.
I do have a question, speaking of parking, since we have time. People, I've noticed, because I troll Facebook because I have no life, they are advising trailers to park in IGA in the market parking lot. Is that private? Is it?
Well, it's private. If you park your trailer in there once, you will never do it again. Because you'll probably get stuck there until
You have, and
Oh.
closed?
people leave,
Mhm.
and then you have the opportunity, because you'll get boxed in.
Right.
I've seen really big rigs go in there, and then.
They don't have room to.
They can
Hurry up.
reverse, though.
Yeah,
But they can
Might as well
reverse.
go in and do some shopping, because you're not going anywhere in a hurry.
yeah.
Okay.
So, no, it's not the best, like, ideally, the civic center
is where,
is the
Civic
ideal
Center
spot.
is what we advertise.
is what we have.
We used to try and encourage we didn't encourage them, we told our employees
Mhm.
they couldn't park on Oaks because we want to leave that side street open for the trailers,
Mhm.
but they had all the other businesses parked there, so it was a lost cause. Because we tried to make space so people towing
Mhm.
could just come in
Get it.
on the side,
Yeah.
run in, get their stuff, and be gone. But as more businesses move to that part of town, which is good to have more businesses,
Mhm.
but then their employees park around the grocery store, sometimes in the grocery store parking lot,
Uh-huh.
so, which may be unpopular.
No.
But, I don't let my employees park in our parking lot,
Right.
because it's there for the customers,
Right, exactly.
so,
Kill
I'm the same way at City Hall.
yeah.
And how about the post office?
Post office is experiencing a problem because it's become the parking lot for Babcock and Miles.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, and it is a designated parking, as is Ace, by the way, is public parking.
I don't feel guilty parking in Ace, but I do feel guilty parking in the post office.
Really.
Just get
See,
your
I
mail
park-
on the way in or
I
way
park,
out.
but I make sure that if I'm getting mail, I'm parking like
And-
in the
and
post
Ace-
office, but if I'm like using the restaurant, I'll make sure I park in that
Far
angle.
enough away.
Yeah, in that angled corner area.
And when Ace purchased that property from the city, they agreed that their parking lot would be public
That
parking.
was the condition.
They have the public parking and the
there's a
public
little
restaurant.
sign, very small, but it does say public parking.
And
And
it's not
bathroom.
covered by bushes like it used to be.
But at the same time, if all their parking spots are filled up, their business goes down. Because, oh, I can't get in there, I'll always go down the road.
Or I'll come later.
Or, yeah. So,
Yeah.
it creates issues, but that was part of their agreement.
Do we know if the county office is gonna open up that area for parking over
I
the floor?
believe that they are going to open up for parking, but it's going to be for county parking.
Which would be nice if it gets them off the street and opens it up for the public.
Exactly.
Or for employees of the other businesses.
Yeah,
My daughter's got a white truck, like, are they gonna know if she parks there?
I know now.
Now that it's on our recording.
Don't park there, Lil, don't park there.
The license number is, doesn't it?
Yeah, right, it is, they're trying to, yeah. No, I remember seeing it, and then I see him digging stuff up, and I was like, gosh, I was like, especially over the Fourth, this would be ideal, an extra parking area.
And it will get filled up over the Fourth.
Not everything does.
During the rally, you know, it'll get filled up. When the big events happen,
Mhm.
all those parking spots get filled up.
Yep.
Because they want to park close to where it's happening.
Yep.
And that's why down by the Roosevelt Center, there's open parking spaces. They
Which
don't
is
want to walk
crazy,
that
because
far.
then I'm like, the mass exodus on the Fourth, trying to get to the rodeo grounds is, yeah,
Yeah.
it just cracks
And
me
it's
up.
just, it is what it is.
Mhm.
The second issue, and
Oh, we have number two.
you're involved in this. There's an effort to document the use of Lions Park by photographing people. And I know you talked with my daughter, asked her permission,
I
she
did.
did not give you
She
permission,
did not.
and she was good with that.
Oh, yeah, no, she was.
It was the person lurking off to the side that was taking her photographs, and that she packed up all her kids and left. She said, no, I'm not.
That is a little,
You know, and
Hmm.
she tried to approach the other person that was taking pictures,
mhm.
but that person disappeared. As soon as she knew she'd been caught, she disappeared. And
What is
it
it?
upset my daughter that she was
Exactly.
being documented, you know,
Yeah.
without her
What is
permission.
the purpose?
My purpose is, I want people to know how often the green space gets used for
Okay.
various things. For example, Ashley and Courtney's children were gonna play soccer or ball or something in the field. But I never take a picture of anybody
I
without
know
going
you
and
asked.
asking permission and saying, I will do it from back at the sidewalk, so you cannot tell who who you are.
Mhm.
I just want it known that that area, green space, gets used a lot.
Mhm.
It's making, you know,
But yeah, I can
depending on
understand.
how it's done,
Yeah,
it's.
I don't know
and
who else
so
is-
they went to Field Park and played in that green space because they weren't being documented. And so,
Yeah.
Why
Yeah.
did somebody,
and I don't know who this second party was. I'm sure it's somebody that lives down there.
Did
Because
she?
they disappeared quickly, so they probably went back into a house.
No, and
So she said, I will not go back down there until this whole thing is done. I'm done with that park.
Could see her saying.
So,
that,
You may have the opposite effect
I know,
of people going, nope,
Nope.
we're done with that park, we'll go down to this park,
yeah.
because they're not taking our pictures down there. But it does create an issue, and that's where I was gonna talk to Schrock. I don't think it's illegal, because they're in a public space, and there's not a reasonable expectation of privacy in a public space.
But what about the exposure with minors?
No one should be taking, I don't know who else is taking pictures, but no one should be taking pictures unless they ask permission, I feel like, the
Right.
permission of the person.
And you do that.
I can share some information, because I had this conversation at the library as well. So this is not my homework, this was their homework, but I have a high level of confidence in it. It is, if it is presumed, and in part, we were having a conversation based on the pool. And what the library found out when they researched it is you are presumed in a public space, you can be photographed, and it is presumed that you are being photographed. So asking is a courtesy, but is not an expectation. I think there is an element of it that is, here's the park versus, you know, a close-up focus on there, and so what the library does, and as we're looking at it from a pool perspective, is they just have a kind of a code of conduct that's there. And I would probably say, kind of in line with Russ, probably the better answer would be to put a zoom camera on your front porch that looks out across and then just go through and do captures and screen stuff from it. There's an element, like Rod said, that it may actually be counterproductive to what the goals are. You might end up reducing traffic because people are going, there's weirdos and creeps out there that are coming to.
But you might have had some awkward conversations with the police department when somebody calls in that their children are being photographed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, because they don't know the intent, if they're not being asked. And of course, the police department's gonna respond with the knowledge that they're given. You know, the tone of the investigation is set by the caller. So if you call in, there's somebody doing creepy things, photographing my children, the police department's gonna come on aggressively to determine who's endangering children in their community. Because that's what they hear when they get the call. And then, you know, everybody's gonna be mad at the police department for being aggressive over them taking pictures or whatever. So it's an issue. It could be interesting. And
I will take responsibility to talk to neighbors there that could possibly be doing it. I don't know if I have any influence over them or not.
Well, let them know that.
But tell them that this could be an issue, that, you know, we could be against the cause.
Counterproductive.
You could, just turn that into a ghost town down there, because parents talk to one another and it's like, well, I'm not taking my kid down there. And all of a sudden you're going, where'd all the people go? Because they are uncomfortable.
Noted.
Chair. I'm kind of wondering if taking pictures is even good with all the kid problems we're having. Is there another way that you can document how that space is being used? Like,
I guess I could say, there, I saw, you know, a family playing with a dog.
well, the other day there was a bus from Billings or something, and I was thinking,
From the lot.
well, maybe we should document,
More like journal entries.
pardon me?
Journal entries.
Yes, about,
This day, this many people visited the park,
Exactly.
and this was the
And,
activities and the areas they used.
go up and talk to an adult and say, what group are you from in Billings, and how many people, and why do you like to come here? But that way is less weird or threatening, because the kid thing is really hyper right now, and I think there's maybe another way to document how that park's being used.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, I kind of,
No, I agree, yeah.
Okay, I will move forward and speak to those immediate neighbors
Yeah.
who possibly are doing it.
but,
Because I'm sure that the reactions, I know the reaction of my daughter, if her family all of a sudden shows up on a big screen saying, look at this family enjoying the park, this is why we want to save the green space, she's gonna
yeah,
not be happy.
No,
She's gonna
yeah.
probably make it well known that
Yeah.
she's not happy. So it may be very counterproductive to use people to promote the cause versus a journal entry that says X number of people use the park a day. You know, this is, it'd be better information to say, you know, between the hours of, you know, what are the busy hours, what are the slower hours, how many people show up, what are their activities, just journal entries.
I think that's fair. That makes sense to me.
yep.
Still, knowing that I'm being documented when I'm at a park, kind of creeping me out, but,
Well, it's just, because there's the people who would like to see a big concrete slab there say it doesn't get used. They say, why don't we just have the concrete instead of the grass?
Well, my argument to these people who say this to me is like, are you there 24/7? I mean, I've said that to them. I said, you don't have any idea.
yeah.
So anyway, but I think,
I don't
There's
know how.
passion on both sides of the.
Yes,
There is,
exactly.
and Ashley was very good, she said, I can see both sides.
So,
All right, well, if we have
guess we're done. huh?
anybody online, Patty kind of made it.
Patty's there, but that's it.
Hopefully she's feeling okay. You don't need to say anything, Patty. I'm sure you're.
Yeah,
And I will say, I am thrilled that, this resort tax proposal does show that they're setting aside $85,000 for, a match for the street.
Yeah.
Street.
That's what this was all about, so that's why Jody was super excited. She's like, make sure you get get this out to people, so I sent it to you, I just realized. it
Okay,
was
I didn't check things this morning.
No, I just did. So, sweet, okay, well, we will go ahead and adjourn then.
Thank you, it's a good meeting, you guys, thanks for coming.